Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Um, it's Wednesday, right? Yeah, yeah. uh, the eternal problems of the freelance work at home person. What day of the week is it? I don't know. It's, I'm at my desk. Yeah. Anyway, so last night on Mastodon, I put up a quick poll to see what to build, and as of this morning, when I checked, all three options were identically picked. So we're just probably going to do them all one at a time the rest of this week. And the first one was a monument at the grave of the man who discovered this planet. And it's just something, I don't know, sounds a little different, could be fun. Um, might not take that long to make, so it'll give us a chance to really get into things and get very specific if we want to. Um, my concept is that although he was honored and they put up the monument, yada, 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 most people are way more busy in a starting settlement with life and making sure that things are going okay than they are looking after monuments to dead people. So it's there, but it's not like super famous and super upkept. So we'll have a little bit of kind of oldness to it and that sort of thing. And given that we're doing a water planet, I'm thinking again of a tropical, sandy, flat island, probably even smaller than the last one we made. So I don't know. Let's get started. First thing I think we're gonna try, because we got some time to play this time, is let's see if a volcano will be a good basis for this one. And I really need to understand all of the like possible options in here, and I don't. I just use the thing to make stuff. And let's go with 256 just to give us a bit more base detail. We can always add more to it later. And let's see. I think that'll work. That's 2 meters. Let's make it 20. And then SZ and bring it down. Well, actually, maybe not. Well, see the question. Well, we can always extend out the base. I want to figure out how deep we want the water to be too. We might need to make this a little bit bigger just for that. Let's add some water too. Mesh cube S Shift Z 20. Yeah, see, I think it needs to be bigger than that, or this I yeah. So let's grab both these two things. Scale 3. And now let's take this and oh, I didn't need to do that. Let's do this again. S3 and then the water S Shift Z 3. Yeah, make it a little bit bigger. I'm just kind of trying to decide how deep I want the water to be. GZ. Yeah, I'll make it like that. Now let's take this and I'm going to set to here because I'm going to shrink it to the depth of the top of the water, not everything. SZ and bring it down like that. GZ and bring it down. Now, fine. Something like that looks cool. I think I like the shape. I'm not sure how big it is. Let's save this thing. I do like the shape. There's no thinking about it at all. I created my folder yesterday. 230621. Happy solstice. One live stream monument. Okay, let's put a person on here for scale. Did that right. Generate. Yeah, I mean, actually, that's not terribly far from the size I wanted it to be, I think. That looks okay. I like it. There's the creation phase. Confirm. We'll leave our little human for scale today, just cause. There we go. Delete his armature, his eyes, and his teeth, and there we go. And save. I think we are going to want our water at least to be bigger. S, Shift Z. That gives us a little bit more room. We can move it now depending on where we want to put the camera. And Control A, rotation and scale. No, it's the same thing. Control A, rotation and scale. And let's grab some materials. Blend a shade is me. Ocean, since I'm on that one already. Cool. And sandy shore. And let's see what we got. Update images. That's cool, but we need to give it UVs. That's right. U smart. Yeah, let's try smart. See what it gives us. Okay, so we need to give it more grass. We're losing all the grass. Okay. I think I want it most or less grass. I think I want it mostly sand. Shading. There we go. I need to check that if I save my default file in this one over here in sculpting, if it will, or in shading, if it will open that way by default. I think it will. Okay, so where's our Z? Bring it up higher. Yeah, up higher. There's our sand. That looks good. For the top sand. A little higher. Let's go like 46. Yeah. It is mostly a sandy island. And then over here, where we've got it. There it is. Z, can we take it to like 35? Yep. Since I remember the number from the other one. And looks pretty good. I'm gonna take our contrast down a little bit. Yeah, quite that much. 50, 60, 65. There we go. That seems okay. Like that. Yeah. That's working for me. Save. So now we can do our usual editing of but I can speak biome to put it to avoid the grass and such, and just go to the green. Let's do that. Blah, blah, blah. I got too many fucking plugins. Where's scatter? Oh, is it down at the bottom now? That's right. Geoscatter, because I updated it. Select an emitter. You get used to where something is, and then you do an update, and it puts it down at the bottom. And you're like, what? No, no, no. Open biomes. We got all these new botanic ones, but I don't know that they're going to be really useful for what we're looking for. But let's just see. Tropical, because we haven't used them. These can be neat, I guess. We got 6 and 1, 6 and 2. I kind of like 2, I think. Let's try 2. I think it's going to fail out and give us errors. Well, not fail, but I think it's going to be huge. 2 seems okay. Yes, heavy scatter detected. I know. Exit. Okay. Yeah, way too much, obviously. But so these 2 in the middle are the ones we want to be careful of then. Turn anything but trees off just to start with. Grab the trees and abiotic, elevation, local in altitude, and we want our minimum to be much higher. Something like that, maybe? Let's see. Are we off the sand? 6 meters seems like we're off the sand. 6 meters seems pretty good. Transition of 0.5, just to give us a bit. We don't need to worry about max because, well, we're not getting that high. And now we know 6 meters is a good place for us to be for these things. So let's turn on shrubs. And we're going to make it also elevation, altitude of minimum of 6. And we'll give it again a 0.5 transition. Just so there's a little bit out to the grass, under the sand. And then we'll leave grass to the end. Well, we can just fix it now. Elevation, altitude, minimum of 6.25 with a transition of 0.5. We should be able to turn on. Let's save just to make sure. Not a lot of space there. There we go. Grass. It's a fair amount of grass. And I think I'm going to turn on the grass. Also, I'll have slope. So we'll leave some of our rock faces free. Yep, that looks good. Cool. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it off and do the second grass. Also elevation, altitude, 6.25, transition of 1. Let's even go to 7 just to see, and 1. And let's see what we get. That might be a little too much. We're losing a lot of 7s, might be a little too high. 6.5. Yeah, okay. So if we have those 2 together now, what do we get? Yeah, that seems cool. And also we'll give it the slope. And 15 feels okay to me as well there too. Maybe we'll do, just to vary it up, let's go with max of 18. Or, yeah, let's go with 12 and a transition of 5. I don't think anyone's going to notice, but there we go. Just to break it up and make it different. We'll save. Okay. We're building the world's perfect tropical island. There's that little dude. He's looking very happy. Rocks. This one is going to be an elevation, but not as high because we can have rocks on the of altitude of, let's try 3 meters. I'm going to turn the other ones off just so we can see where we're at. Rock. Cool. So we have rocks on the beach. That's fine. We don't need to go underwater because it'd be a waste of space. So that looks good to me. Let's put. We don't really want rocks on the slope. Oh, that was growing grass still? I didn't change that one, did I? Rock. Okay, good. No, I didn't. I just moved it over. Slope, 15, just so we don't have any on the... And we're going to make our max slope 10. Yeah. There we go. That looks good for rocks. Second rock, also elevation of percentage. Let's go with 2.5 for the transition of 1. I don't know, why not? Slope max of 10, the transition of 2. Mostly just playing. And those are our smaller rocks, I guess. That looks good. That's cool. So let's just turn everything on again. Let's see what we got. It's looking kind of neat. Whoa, are we underwater? Okay, save. So what do we see? I like the little atoll kind of thing there. That's cool. And I'm thinking we'll probably put the monument like right in here, particularly given that there's no trees there right now anyway. That seems like an acceptable place to put it. I'm liking that. I do think we need to extend our ground out a little bit further probably because we get that like weird in there. I'm going to turn off scatter so I don't have to see it and go back to just solid view and I'm going to take, this is our water, right? Yep. M, new collection, ocean. And I don't need the boat wake. And we'll turn off ocean. Okay, so landscape, here we go. I want to take my edges, or just 30. Yeah. Yep. Yep. And yep. And then E, no, not E, Alt E, normals. Let's see, which way does it go? No. Scale. Scale works. Not far. And you're thinking, and I know you're thinking, and that's fine. And then, yep, we are coming down. Can we bring it down a little more? So it kind of matches the incline above. And you're thinking, you're really thinking. It's probably because I have geoscatter turned on. That's a little much. Move -20. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's fine. We might need to play with it a little bit around the edge just to make it a little less harsh, but we'll see how it looks like with the water turned on. Scatter on and back to. I think once we rough the water up a little bit, we might be okay with that, but that hard line there, where we did the extension around the perimeter, we might need to soften up a bit. That seems okay. Looks like it's doing all right. Okay. We're still real low on polys, which is cool. Let's come back to that. I'm gonna turn off scatter again. So I'm really gonna turn it off. Now let's edit here. Yeah, that's the face we want selected. Tab, Shift Q, quick displacement. I'm gonna cut it to start with. Where's my subsurface? I always move. Subdiv cuts 10. And I want to see this as an object, not as material. Yeah, we need more. F9, strength 1. Maybe even more than that. 5. 5 is too big, I think. And we've also lost our... Let's cut 15. I still think 5 is too big. Let's do strength 2. All right, that's fine. And then let's shift. Let's do it again. And you're thinking tab. Planar. No. 7B. Shift Q. Quick displace. I just want selection. And we're going to go with Voronoi IF2. Strength of 1. And cuts of 2. Just going to add some more waveage to this thing. Cool. And then tab 7. I'm going to do it exactly the same thing again, I think. Q. Utility. Quick displace. Strength of 0.5. Cut of 3. And seed. Where's my seed? Doesn't really matter, just a little bit. Just trying to get some water rippling kind of going on there. I think that might even be enough. I just don't want it to be even. F9 and I'll do one more, I think. And go away. B, I'm just gonna select that. Shift Q, quick displace, cuts 1. And F9. Let's try Voronoi F3 this time, just to split it, or F2, F1. See what we like. Yeah, that's cool. Cool. And then object, shade smooth. Now, excuse me. Now we got some water. That feels pretty good to me, I think. I like it. We're still getting looking all right. We may actually want to increase the poly on this one by a little bit. Let's see what happens if we just give it Control 1. Give it some subdiv. That give us a better feel. Yeah, that's a bit better. And turn on geoscatter. Got a little bit of like weird lineage here. I think we might want to just do a slight smoothing on it. Let's try it and see. Smooth. That feels better to me. It gets rid of that. Yeah, we still have bumps. And if we come back to here, let's just see what it looks like. I know we're underwater. Come on. That looks good. Getting some waveage. Cool. We'll apply the smoothing so it doesn't have to process it. And we'll apply our subdivision here so it doesn't have to process it. Okay, and we'll save. And we are at 26 minutes. We're doing all right. I really do dig this island. I think it's cool. Something just very, very soothing about making a nice tropical island, I think. I do think we're going to add, I think we'll put our monument up here, and I think we will kind of get rid of these trees again. So let's go back to flat shading and turn off geoscatter. Select that object. 7. And weight paint. Okay, and let's just think about it for a second. Come on. Turn off the ocean too. This helps us. There we go. Make it bigger. A lot of polys here for it to mess with. Painstakingly slow. Let's see how big it is. Come on, Blender. It's still pretty big though. Like, that's cool. That'd be enough. That's all we need. Object mode. Come back up here to our trees. Yes, you're thinking. We know. Trees selected. And prox. No, that's right. Culling masks. Vertex group. Getting slow, guys. Group. Maybe I should have laid off messing with my water until later. Well, it shouldn't matter now. It's turned off. Who knows? I don't see the same on shrubs, too. The grass, I think we can just leave there. It's fine. But I don't want to, like, clip a shrub by accident and have it look weird. So. Okay. There we go. And let's turn it back on. Yeah, we got a nice clean area now for what we're going to build. Okay. Now, I'm not entirely sure yet what I want this monument to look like. I kind of didn't want to delve into it too much because I like doing the concept art process as part of the stream. I really just like solving the problems as we get along with it. I think we'll want a little bit of a platform here and some kind of a plaque and something. And we kind of want to feel a little high tech. Statue was something I wasn't sure about. So I had one idea. I can go ahead and bring it in just to show you. I went into Daz yesterday and made myself a figure, and I exported it and decimated it a little bit, just because going to Daz can take a while if you don't. And there's not really the need for that from this in the stream. And I created this dude here. And RZ180. I think we'd want them like that. We don't want it on. Let's just go to medium point. And I made him big too. GZ. So here's this, giant Space Marine statue by comparison to our person. So it's pretty big, right? So we could do something like that as like our guy watching over our guy. I don't hate it. GZ, let's bring him up. Maybe he needs a stand too. It's kind of cool. Bring it in a little bit, I think. So it's more into the solid and off the sand. And then GZ. Just bring it like over to here. Shift S2. Shift A. Mesh. Cylinder. Bring it up to like there. And then bring him up. So we could start with something like that. I think that's cool. That'll work. Let's just scale our person so we can see by different sort of. Where's our dude? Let's see how big he is in relation to the statue. Yeah, that feels suitably majestical, right? Kind of looming up over here. And it wasn't the only thing I want to put. Like, this is not the monument in my mind, but I kind of like it. Let's save it. And again, like we have the opportunity because we're only 33 minutes into this sucker right now to really focus a lot on specifics. So we can probably get into lighting maybe a bit more than we otherwise do too. And I gave it this sort of dirty concrete texture, which I like because like everything in this world seems to be concrete more than metal. So we could go with like a grungy metal, but I liked this concrete. We'll try the metal just to see. Let's make this the grungy concrete. Or is it rock? That's right, it's rock. What did I call it? I don't think I changed the name from its base. Yeah, stone polished white. It was from Kitbash 3D and then I modified it. Grunge stone, just to call it something. And grunge stone. I definitely like it on that. I think that's cool. On him, I don't know. Like he would catch sunlight better if he was metal, which could be cool. Let's just try and see. I do want to be dirty though, so we'll go with at least our Blender Guppy grunge metal to start with. Let's see if that gives him a bit more specularity, and if we like him with more specularity. I do kind of like that. Yeah, I think obviously we need to get rid of those little glowy bits. But no, I think that's cool. We'll leave it. We'll go with the metal. I changed my mind. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of this guy's monument just being out here on this tiny little island, kind of alone. Like either he died here or this was the first place he landed, maybe when he first discovered the planet. And it's not in the city. It's not part of major human traffic in any way. It's just out here in nature. Probably where a guy like that would want it to be anyway. Um, let's bring him up a bit more. Like that. There we go. And save. Okay. So, what do we want to do next? I do want some techie bits. I kind of want a glowing hologram on this thing. Actually had an idea of like putting maybe like a glowy hologram of another person or him in like casual clothes down here, maybe. I haven't entirely decided. I'm going to turn off my human for right now. And let's go edit this thing. Tab. And I want to grab, I think these 4 faces. Let's see. Yep. And E. Yep. Those are the 4 I wanted. I could create like a, maybe if his grave is in here, maybe this would be a cool place to put that kind of thing. Like his mausoleum. Let's see. Would that be big enough? Would that be high enough up? I think it might be. I might need to go a bit more. This could be his mausoleum. Wouldn't have to necessarily be up. Let's see. Bring it up more. And that's higher. Oh yeah, now that'll work. Soulless sucker. G coplanar. E. Just bring it down. So it's yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that. I like having that little like that. The other idea I had was maybe like a piece of a hull or something from his ship could be here. Or even that this could be built out of a piece of the hull from his ship. But that wouldn't go well with this rock. That's a different idea. There's so many ways you can approach something like this. It's important to think about what you want the vibe to be. Okay, I kind of like it. Like I'm kind of thinking of a composition like this, sort of down like that. So, okay. And I like that this goes around like that. And then let's bevel this top somewhat, but not too much. Is that all right? Why is he not? You should just be able to bevel it. There we go. Oh, it's because I probably have not. Control A, rotation scale. No. There we go. That's why. And we'll increase our cuts to, where are we at? 8 segments. Sure. Okay. And anybody there today? It's awful quiet. Maybe graves don't interest people that much. I find this stuff really fascinating, though. Yeah, okay. Now let's just solo this thing just for playing and edit it. And we're going to select those faces. And sure, why not those faces? And then actually, first, we're going to insert some edge loops here to get things closer back to square. There we go. Shift Q, plate insets, subdivision 1, 2, 3. Oh, I like this. Yeah, that's cool. I do think I want it symmetrical, though. I think we're going to go from this side. Cool. Not looking all right. And bring it back. And let's see what it looks like in color. I think we need to UV A U Smart UV project. Sure. There we go. That's kind of cool. You can't really tell it too much, but it does give some break up there that I like. And I do think this is going to be a door ultimately, even if we don't get to go into it. And that seems cool because it's, yeah, we can't. Yeah. C. Okay. And E. SY0 flattened. Okay, cool. Kind of give it a nice good inset there. So it feels very obvious. That's cool. Save. It also gives us a cool place to put that hologram out here, which is nice. Maybe we could jump on that now. Sure. I see no reason not to. At least to see if it works or not. So I had a couple of ideas. Let's start with the person. I'm just going to grab one of these, big, medium, small. And I think we're going to get one of the praying people. Think we like him? I think this is going to be human sized. RZ 180. And I just want to get him centered on this thing. So I want to select Shift S2 and Object, set origin to 3D cursor, Object, set origin, geometry to origin. Cool. And then GZ. I want to bring him up, and I actually want him floating like this, I think. Because my next idea was, what if we, just to make it more obvious that it's something interesting, if we go with mesh and where are diamond gem, diamond mesh. Wish I had it soloed. There we go. I can. Crown height. Something like that. It's kind of neat. I think that's going to be our base for our hologram. And I think we're going to need to bring him and the hologram base up a bit. So it's like that. That seems cool. Okay. Now, I'm just going to close this for now. We'll probably come back here in a bit, but not kit bashing too much right now. I'm going to grab him, and I'm just going to remove all material slots from him, because I am going to make him a hologram, which we did yesterday, and it worked cool. So let's do it again. Hologram, add material. This, I think, I don't want it to be a hologram. I'm not sure what I do want it to be yet. Realistic. Let's see if there's anything in here that we kind of like for that. It could be cool as a hologram, though. Let's see what this ghost does, just to try it. Let's see where we're at. Ah, come back. It's actually kind of similar as an effect, isn't it? Let's see. Maybe let's make him that. Let's see. Does he look good as Ghost? Makes it a bit softer. It's kind of cool. Actually, I like that. And let's make this a metal. I changed my mind. What kind of? I'm torn between making it just like a metal or like a ship hull thing and having it be sort of symbolic in that way. Let's try the ship hull thing just to keep it interesting. See, I told you I'd be back over here. And I created my own metal sheeting based off of the big, medium, small. So let's try it just to keep it different. Yeah, and it needs to be UV'd. That is awful. Phew, that's awful. Let's come back here. Let's see if we can use something else as a different UVing method. Three. Let's see. Control I. 1U. Cylinder projection? That's better. I think that's. Let's see how that looks in the UVs. Yeah, that is better. A scale. Where are you at? Ah, come back here. Where's my cursor? There it is. Let's solo it and render it so we can see it. Hey, Micah. Good to see you. Let's see. I do like, yeah, that is working for me. Something like that. bottom, not so much. Let's see, can we find a better way of viewing it? Let's see, B. U. Will this one go better with a smart? Let's see. Not really. Cube projection? Okay, I can live with cube, I think. It's better than the other one. We might just put it sort of into single form. Yeah, we don't want it there. I think it's weird there. Just as a single thing here. I can live with that, I think. It's still a little off though. Let's just 3 and B. We'll move it. G. It's picking up those rivets that I don't want to have. So shrink it in. Okay. I'm going to add a edge loop around there that I think will sort of hide that a little bit better, and I think that'll make it work. Let's do that now. Say 2. Yep. Bevel. Cut it down to just 1. What is that weird one? Is that a weird thing I got selected wrong? Z6. Project from view works okay as long as you're not going to rotate around it. I have had some really good results from it, but I've also had some, some disasters. We don't want that. Control B. There we go. That wide. Okay. And G. I feel like this is dark ring could be cool. Let's see. That's better. And unsolo. And I'm still not done with the other parts, so we're just getting there. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Yeah, I like that. That's cool. I think it's going to be even better when we do some this. Everything is this. Yep, cool. Let's go back to layout so we can see it. And again, everything. Come on. You're thinking. We know you're thinking. All right. Yeah, you've been here before, Michael, so you didn't miss much the first part. We just set the island up just so you can see everything. We made an island. We put plants on the top. We have an ocean. You know, the usual stuff for this project seems like. All right, but let's see. Can we shift Q, plate inset, subdivide it like 4 times? I don't know why that just makes my heart so happy every time I see that, but it really does. I'd be lying if I said otherwise. Let's see. It's not on the hologram, so I don't know, but I like that tech. Yeah, it's the exact same process that we did for the smuggler's home. It's just, you know, I'm kind of digging that. I do think that works pretty well for me. I think our hollow dude needs to be up a little bit more. Did I just select vertex mode instead of surface mode? Come on. Yes, I did. GZ, bring him up so he's levitating. Oh, there's even a hole in the center. I love it when that happens. Or not a hole, but a solid area in the center. Yep. Ah! Undo. Back to me. There we go. So that, thank you. 1 plus 3. Okay, so I got my circle. Cool. And I'm going to inset in just a bit. And E and bring it down. Cool. All right, so there he is sitting over his own mausoleum, just floating, chilling. And we're gonna go with edit again, tab, and Shift D, P selection, tab, A, E, tab, yeah. And we're gonna make this one ghost as well. Let's see how it works. It doesn't be that high. Okay, GZ to there, E, scale, E. Let's see. Oh yeah, oh, that's cool. That's what I wanted. I actually think though I'm going to go back to hologram for this material versus the ghost on him because it's a little bit more solid. We'll leave ghost on the other stuff, but I think we want him that, yeah. Now he doesn't fade out so much when you look at him on the off sides. I think that's cooler. We might need to make him a bit brighter. Shader emission color value of 3. Yep. Okay. Digging it. Digging it, digging it, digging it. Now, the next question is basically how much we bling it out. Like we could put some more lights along here, or we could keep it very understated. Part of me really likes understated. I do think we need to work on the door a little bit though. Kind of jumping up and down everywhere. Edit this. And I'm going to take center line here, 2, and control bevel. And then let's just solo that. Well, I do like the base. Sorry. It's not really meant to go with anything. That's kind of the point in this sense. It's because it's more to this guy's a studying contrasts between the Islamic nature of his clothes and faith, the island, and the fact that he was a starship captain and a pilot. And for all we know, he may not even have been Islamic at all. He might have just been a starship pilot, but he's kind of been deified, and religion does a lot of weird things. But I do like the base, so overruled. um, I want it to draw attention, and I actually kind of want it to feel more like it fits in with the statue behind. which I feel like it does. So the two of them work for me. And again, that's work for me. Every one of these, there's not a right answer. And I am certainly not saying there is. Um, let's see. I think I still have it. Yep, it does. Still have the mirror modifier on it. So I should just be able to grab this. There we go. And plus, and assign. Let's see, plates. Or what did I call it? You just got my name in it. Yeah, metal sheeting with sci-fi. Let's try it. UV. I might change my mind too. We'll see. But I do like it right now. I like shapes like that. Let's see how I feel about this. It's kind of neat, actually. I don't know that like it looks. That looks like it's too much like a pipe. It's too obvious for what it is. And since there's not a pipe there. Let's see over here. I think R90. And G. SX. Shrink it in a little bit. I like that, but I think I'm going to mirror it. UV, mirror along x-axis. Yep. That's working for me. Yeah, that's cool. All right. Yeah, all of this is like a combination of all the different elements in this planet for me, and it's a bit of a weird thing. I like that they're reusing stuff from their ship whenever they can. I kind of like the brutalism from the concrete. I like the Persian Islamic influences, and I like the having nature like this whenever we can too. Um, yeah, that's cool. Okay, where are we at? Like an hour? Hour and three. Let's start setting up a camera. See what we get. Can yeah, go away. Close the area and see what we get. Photo, camera, Arri Alexa 65. Anamorphic. There we go. And let's see what we can find for a good camera angle. We get enough. Probably need to bring back the water too. We're not going to see water, I don't think yet. We might. Let's turn it back on. Turn on the ocean. Yep, there it is. And line it up like that. Seems like a pretty good distance shot for me. We're going to want to come up close to it later, but kind of a sky do we want for this sucker? So because we got a glowing element, We're going to need it a little darker if we want it to show up. And because we're glowing blue, a sunset red orange might be kind of cool too. Yeah. Could always use Sky is on Fire. That is the classic shot. This is The Sky is on Fire. If you are unaware of it, it is used by so many people who pull things from Polyhaven, including me, because it's just a cool, because it's a cool HDR. And it is. It's going to be way too bright right now. Let's just get it in. And world. Let's rotate us around. Come on. That's pretty good like that. It's just a cool HDR. Like and when you drop the exposure down on it, it looks way cooler in my opinion. So at -2, let's see. I mean, you just get this amazing like, ooh, it's night. You know, it's sunset on the ocean and it looks like it. It's just good. um, you know, like it's practically like, man, yeah, there's your scene. You're like, okay, we're good. Um, what else do we want to do with it? We don't necessarily have to do much more to it, but we could. Yeah, and I'm again like personal preference. We're talking about it, but I think particularly this distance, I'm liking this kind of brazier sort of vibe going on to him like that. Um, the only other thing I thought about doing was making it more like a lamp and having it be more like a genie kind of subliminally. I thought that could be neat too. Do we want some lights around? I think we do. Around this thing here. Let's add a bit just at the front, I think. Silhouette. Come in. Tab. And let's see. These three. I. E. Plus the sign. What color do we want? Because we got blue again up top, I'm thinking like probably a nice yellow is good, or orange. It certainly could be, or sitting. Like it looks like it's praying. Like the pose is praying. So your hologram comes in here, but imagine from like, yeah, we have this stuff totally. But if you like when you walked up to it, the hologram stands up and bows or something. Like you could do all kinds of cool stuff to that in a film sort of vibe if that's what you're looking for. And I mean, I think it's neat. Let's go a bit more orange and strength of 10. Let's see if that's too big or not. Like you would definitely, the whole point of putting tech like that in is you get some motion and some whatever going on. So I think from a filmmaking perspective, absolutely it would move. I think those feel a bit big to me still. In general, I'm liking the concept, but they feel a little too large. Back, tab, dot. So let's go back to Gruntstone and assign it, and then we'll inset it again and scale it like that. And we'll bring it out just a little bit and plus, and now we'll make that yellow. I mean, there's no reason for holo from our perspective, right? But like, if you think about it from a Star Wars, literally the first time you saw printed text in Star Wars was what Rise of Skywalker or Last Jedi? Last Jedi. You know, like it doesn't. Maybe hollows are just how statues are done, kind of vibe. Although we do have a statue behind it, but like we make cultural assumptions based off of our world that don't always apply. But I agree with you. Like from our perspective, having a hollow lets you do dynamic things with it. Um, but for all we know, maybe religiously, that's just a way of showing the soul of a person in this culture, right? So that you can't put him in stone because the soul is ephemeral and light. So a hologram represents the spirit of the person in a way that can show. Also, interestingly, you have no engraven images as a pretty common of people in Islamic art. So um, it could be that maybe doing it as a hologram is like in the old days in Indonesia, the way they got around that was with shadow puppets. And so that showing a figure of a religious person as a shadow was okay, but it wasn't the same thing. So, like, there's lots of different. I, I I could, I could justify pretty much anything in this thing if I wanted to. Either way, like, yeah, the advantage of human culture is we're so good at justifying everything. Um, but mostly, I just think the hologram is cool um, for me. I thought I unsoloed it. Come back. There we go. I think those lights are a better size now. I like them smaller like that. They're not as in your face. Um, and that's kind of cool. I don't. I thought about putting a light up on the statue, but I don't think I want to do it. I mean, we could, but I think it would draw away from this guy. I think I want him to be the lit subject. This carries a heck of a lot of compositional weight because of its size and position, and it's framed by the trees and everything. But I don't know that I need it lit. And again, this is not like in a town square park or something where people are looking at it as they drive by, so you want it to be lit. This is a, quiet place. You're going to have to come to an island this small, far from other things, to pay your respects to this dude. Um, yeah, that's looking okay. Um, what else do we want? Anything? I mean, we could be pretty good. I think I just want to try. Okay, first off, before I do that, I want to see what this looks like if I completely turn that to 100. So that's our frame. Yeah, I don't like those trees. It's something that looks, you don't notice so much the tops here when when you can still see them most slightly grayed, but now let's take the 35. See, that's too small. Ooh, actually, that's cool. Every school outing will go there. Maybe. I mean, it's possible. Um, it depends on excursion, yeah. Field trip in school. Um, maybe they don't care that much anymore. Like it could be that like if this dude was say 150 years in the past and these people are getting on with their lives, that it's important, but it's faded in importance. So like completely different um cultural significance, but like Civil War reenactors, right? Like they're people that have kind of they're stuck in the past versus thinking of what's happening now. So maybe you're modern people on this planet. I'm just getting that tree out, see what we get. Do we like it better this way? Come on, go back to solid view so I can move my camera faster. I mean, it could be either way. Um, I'd be down with going to a place like this. Um, I'm just trying to find how we want our framing to be. Do we like this tree here on the left? I think we do. Yeah, that's looking all right. And I think it still feels like an island. And obviously we're going to do different shots. This is not bothering me. That's okay. We could put a ship that like we've already made in the background, but I think it might draw away from this with interest. So then the next question is, get that little red orange dot to go away. There we go. Right? Yeah. Is that lit? Am I? No, no, it's not. Okay, it's just the center of the object. Good. Select this object. Thank you. Um, I could put a person on the island, which tells a bit of a story if you do that. It's always a good thing. A little bit of interplay. That could be neat. Let's do that. We got what? 15 minutes? Yeah, we're doing great. Relatively simple scene to set up this time, but I don't know. I just thought it was neat. And as I got to it, I'm like, I don't want to do a bedroom anymore. I've done 2 interiors right now. I just felt like doing something outside. Let's grab 2 people. And I think they're going to look different because that will show the double sides of our world. So we're going to go grab one, let's say, woman pointing. What does she look like? How's she pointing? Is she pointing at the ground or is she pointing at something else? Let's see. Animal would have, I mean, like a bird, but this is not a big island for an animal. Um, and of course, the problem is then you have to find or make an animal too, which is, I mean, doable, but um, let's bring her over and bring her up a bit. Trying to get her so she stands, but breaks that silhouette or doesn't break that silhouette. Right now, her head is right on our ocean line. Well, maybe not with the, let's see, sky, because my ocean ends there, but the ocean from the HDR might be a little higher. Let's look and see. I don't want her head tangenting with the horizon if I can avoid it. No, it's true. If there's not if there's other islands nearby to get to, you could certainly have some animals on here. I mean, I like rodents and stuff. That's all right. I think it's okay. She's all right there. Like, there are options for sure, but I mean, the bigger option from my perspective is I have to then make an animal to put there, because or use like an existing cat or something. But um, so it has to add to the scene in a worthwhile sense for that to be worth it to me. Like if the story called for that, then we could, but otherwise, I think humans react to pictures of people more than they do animals from a story perspective. So having people in the scene is probably a better move for us in the long run. It's kind of my, you know, back and forth. Oh, sorry. Yes, Quokka's the people. Apologize. Yes. Yeah, I mean, like, but they have boats, right? Or rodent. I mean, I don't know what Quokka is. I am not totally full on such things. I was thinking it would be a change. Yeah. And the question is, what do you need change for? Like, what is the picture for? Should always be what drives things. Um, I like making animals. I've been making fish lately. Fur's a pain in the ass, but other than that, um, let's go with BB, we haven't used one of the other guys in a while. Let's see if we got a pilot we can use. Character. Um, I kind of like this guy there. I'm all about making the scene work. That's really what I care about. And sometimes that means going the extra mile, and sometimes that means not. Oh, right, the miniature kangaroos. Okay. They still have to get here from somewhere, right? And have something to eat. I mean, this island is small. Something, you know, that's why I said rodents, like something the size of a guinea pig or whatever. Yeah, sure. That would be, you could probably do that. There's enough insects and leaves and stuff growing. But um okay, that's cool. And that sets our scale right. I think we got some people. Um but I mean the other problem is like you wouldn't see something that small at this size too. Like they're gonna be that's a person there and that's he's pretty tiny. Um we could do some birds, and I haven't put any of those in yet. We could use like Spiderfy, the add-on, and throw a bird flock or something on there. But I don't know. Oh, I'm sure. I love I love all things marsupial. Um, I'm more of a lemur guy myself, personally. Also, would be cool to put on something like this. Um, I'm a lemur guy. What the hell? Um, yeah. All right. I like them there. Probably if we were doing like a story thing here, we might even want like a ship door or something over here. Maybe not in this shot, but in general. So like the theme being this woman and her partner, son, person, whatever, who's dressed in more, you know, like working people clothes, have shown up on this island and she's paying her respects or making him pay his respects, and then they're going to fly off later. Um, that's kind of our, you know, our story that we want people to maybe think about when we get there. Um, focus. Let's focus on him. Yeah, I love things that are not people too. But from a story perspective, particularly for film and TV, people pretty much trump anything unless they're going to interact with people later. So, oh, it's a shot with a tiger because it's going to eat a person later or whatever, you know. Um, I can just show pictures of cats all day. I'm fine with that, you know. Um, all right, let's close this down and come back to here. And again, it kind of comes to why you're making the image, right? Like if you're doing this as, which I've kind of have been, at least mostly for this project, concept art, thinking in terms of film, you're going to have a different set of criteria than if it's like, oh, I'm making a nature landscape. Yeah, I'm rooting for the tiger too. Um, you know, a one-off illustration is potentially a different vibe. Um, so yeah, I'm liking their two people. I think, and we can zoom in on them later, and that'll be cool. That gives us something. Let's turn on compositing. See if we like it like that, at least initially. I think we kind of do. Um, and you'll note we have sort of our two. I just want to try one other thing before I finish. Let's see, -2. Let's go to -2.5. I like it darker. It might be a little too dark. I do like it though. Um, let's -2.25 and split the difference. But we have our orange and focus of light here on our people, and then we have our blue over here. So like the general flow of the image is going this way, and we have sort of our two complementary colors with each other there and there. Yeah, I understand. My artsy endeavors pay my mortgage, so I have to at some point. um, I must. And I honestly, I like TV and stuff too. So I like working on, and I do like it darker too. I think that it's going to get darker afterward in general. I want to make sure that these two still pop out a little bit from the ground, and that's why I didn't want to make it too dark. That's why I went with the 2.25. And I'll probably bring it down a little bit more in Photoshop when I do my final color correcting on it at the end. Um, yeah, so like that's a frame. Let's save. And just for funsies, because I've got like another couple minutes, let's see if we can find our second framing for this thing. Bet you we can. Cameras. Select it. Control C, Control V. Cool. And photographer, come to our second camera, select it. And now let's see if we come to, we'll do our next one as being close up of this thing. And we could stay on this side or go on this side. I think, ooh, that could be neat because now we're gonna, if we can frame him in that tree, and make him darker too. Yeah, that's cool. Not super digging that tree, but it's all right. And focus. I don't even know what I would do for a regular job anymore. My IT skills are 20 years out of date now. And I mean, these are things I think about with AI because my job may be going away rapidly. But, um, like, oh, what can I do that will make enough money that I can pay my bills with the skills that I have? I don't know. um, I saw that the new, apparently the new Marvel Secret Wars show, the intro is made with AI art. And like, oh, great. That's always fun. Saw people up in arms about that, on the socials today. Yeah, I want to move it. I don't like it just like that. It was a good idea, but I don't see, for me, art. I don't actually think I don't often think of myself as an artist, to be honest. I think of myself as a visual communicator, and that's come back, kind of more my speed, and I'm good with that. Um, IT, you do have to constantly learn, but there's a hell of a lot of ageism too. So like, oh, what are you? I'm, 48 years old. My skills are 20 years out of date, and I'm starting over again. I'm not thinking great of my chances there. Um, let's see. Do we like that? That could be neat. Let's see. Um, artist, not artist, maybe. The difference is like I don't have any kind of like huge. It must have meaning or be beautiful or any of that kind of stuff. Like I like to communicate. I like to tell stories. Um, it's all about telling stories for me. That's pretty cool. I like that. It's a good second camera angle shot. Um, I don't know, it depends what qualified means, right? Like, um, I was a database architect in 2004. I could do stuff, and again, like I might be able to find a job. I might have to. I don't really want to either, but you know, um, I haven't certainly couldn't be a programmer right now. Like that skill set is far, far out of date for me. I haven't written code in like 23 years. Um, Yeah, I don't give it a lot of thought either. It's just when people are like, "It's art. It's about like, yeah, I don't care. Whatever. Like it tells a story for me. That makes it worth it. I can I like helping people communicate their ideas, and I like working in teams. So I like being able to be like, together we made this thing that's bigger than any one of us could have made by ourselves. So, that's my vibe. Anyway, here's our first shot. There's our second shot. And maybe let's set up one more and then we'll call it. Our third shot of the scene. Maybe we'll come down to these people here. Ah, go away. And we'll make it a 85 millimeter lens. Something like that. And focus on her. Yeah, we'll see what happens though. Ooh, that's too dark. We're gonna have to move some lighting around for that, or pull it from the other side. But I think it might work as a camera shot. Like we'll adjust the lighting, I think, for this one, but I like it. And then our final one, we'll just go ahead and set up a fourth. Grab this one. Our fourth shot of the view. I think we need to come over here to Spaceman Spiff. Come on. Right there. And focus. We may change these, but I agree that it's actually irrelevant. I just don't think hiring people tend to agree that because HR departments are a pain in my ass. Could I do the job? Absolutely. Could I get the job? That's a harder question. I absolutely agree with your programmer friends on this one and have the whole time I've done this kind of gig or did that gig. Anyway, I'm hoping I can continue to be an artist until, I retire or die or both. What's retirement? Let's see how the fourth is looking. Ooh, we need to move that angle, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, we need to move this HDR so we don't see the sky or the shore, but I think this will work for us. We'll just do this one last so we can move it. Anyway, I'm going to head out. I'm going to finish this off. Thanks for coming in later on, Micah. It's nice to have someone to talk to. Um, get this posted up on the socials by the end of the morning. If you're watching this later, please like and subscribe. And I will be back tomorrow where I haven't decided yet if I will do the planetary defense cannon or the offshore rig, but it probably be one of those two things. Um, yeah, this has been cool, and I'll see everybody later. All right, take care. Bye bye.